Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll talk about what is both painful and dark, and it will highlight the urgent need to raise awareness about mental health. The tragic event that happened to Kiana Burns and her family serves as a convincing reminder of the difficulties that many people face behind closed doors, which are often hidden behind external achievements and success that seem satisfied. That by shedding light on this story, we can raise awareness about mental health and encourage an open and sympathetic discussion of the problems people face. On December 6, 2021, a catastrophic event occurred in Atlanta, Georgia, a vibrant city that is well known for its favorable business climate, historical significance, and dynamic culture. What happened in one of the city's residential buildings prompted the local authorities to intervene on this particular day. When the police arrived at the scene, they discovered a terrifying find that will have a long-term impact not only on the neighborhood, but also on the world as a whole. Both in terms of her talent and her determination, Kiana Burns was a rare woman. She was born and nurtured in a neighborhood that was very close-knit, and it was there that she discovered her interest in the field of cosmetology at a very young age. Immediately following the completion of her education, Kiana devoted herself wholeheartedly to pursuing her goals. In the beauty sector, she established herself as a well-regarded cosmetologist and businesswoman, so establishing a prosperous career for herself. She was able to create her own beauty salon thanks to her business acumen and her passion to her trade. She was able to serve her customers with great service. Kiana was well known not only for her professional accomplishments, but also for her friendly nature and her unwavering commitment to her family. She was a devoted mother to her children, and the happiness and pride that she experienced in her personal life was frequently mirrored in the posts that she made on social media. It appeared as though Kiana was able to gracefully and confidently handle her responsibilities, despite the fact that she was simultaneously managing a business and raising a family. The life that Ronald Burns, Kiana's spouse, led was likewise remarkable and full of a variety of characteristics. From a young age, he was imbued with a strong sense of community and faith, both of which he carried with him throughout his childhood. During his time at school, Ronald demonstrated his undying commitment and fiercely competitive spirit by excelling in school athletics. Because of his achievements on the field and the disciplined way he lived his life, it was clear that he was dedicated to maintaining both his physical and mental happiness. A big part of Ronald's life was shaped by his religious beliefs. He spent a significant amount of time leading and taking part in a variety of church activities, demonstrating his profound involvement in his religious community. All of his endeavors, both in his personal life and in his professional life, were guided by this spiritual foundation, which gave him a feeling of purpose and made him more focused. The wealthy businessman Ronald was also involved in a number of other activities, including religious and sports endeavors. For the purpose of establishing a successful future for their family, he and Kiana collaborated on a number of business endeavors, working together to combine their respective abilities and aspirations. The collaboration that they shared was not only professional but also profoundly personal, as they supported and encouraged one another in every facet of their life that they shared. Not only did Kiana and Ronald Burns achieve success in their respective industries, but they were also accomplished in the art of constructing a powerful public image. The fact that they regularly engaged with a huge audience across a variety of social media channels contributed to the significance of their online presence. A narrative of a healthy, happy family and successful business owners was created as a result of their frequent sharing of updates regarding their work accomplishments, family life, and personal milestones. On the internet, the Burns family had a significant amount of popularity. The beauty instructions, product recommendations, and business advice that Kiana shared on her channel attracted a significant number of followers. As a result of her kind manner and extensive knowledge in the field of cosmetology, she became a respected figure in the beauty industry. Ronald, on the other hand, was able to gain followers who appreciated his dedication to personal growth and spirituality by sharing insights regarding matters such as fitness, faith, and motivation. Based on their combined internet presence, it appeared as though they were a powerful pair who managed to maintain a healthy balance between their career goals and their family lives. Through the utilization of their complementary skills and shared vision, Kiana and Ronald were able to create a number of business projects while working together. As part of their journey as a pair in business, they made public appearances at industry events, seminars, and workshops where they discussed topics such as personal development, entrepreneurship, and their collective experience. Their professional profiles were enhanced as a result of their appearances, and they also served as a source of inspiration for a large number of aspiring business owners who looked up to them as role models. A life that was full of love, achievement, and fulfillment was presented by the Burns couple on their many social media platforms. They disseminated photographs and films related to personal celebrations, business accomplishments, and outings with their families. In their posts, they frequently underlined the affection and support that they had with one another, presenting the impression of a great union. This carefully crafted appearance, on the other hand, obscured the underlying challenges that they were confronted with, as the stresses of managing their enterprises and preserving their public image took a toll on their mental well-being. The decision to relocate to Atlanta was a significant one for the Burns family, and it was motivated by a number of different considerations that were connected to their personal and professional goals. Their decision to relocate to Atlanta was mostly driven by the city's growing business environment and the possibility of expanding their entrepreneurial endeavors in the city. The city of Atlanta, with its varied economy and thriving cultural scene, provided a great deal of opportunity for personal development and professional networking. The couple was of the opinion that moving to a larger urban location would not only improve their quality of life, but also create better opportunities for their businesses. Kiana had some misgivings about the transfer, despite the fact that it appeared to have many benefits. As a result of the fact that she had established a solid community and clientele at their prior location, the idea of beginning another chapter in a different city was quite intimidating to her. She had additional stress as a result of the obstacles of adjusting to a new environment, making new connections, and managing the logistical challenges that came with the relocation. Her hesitancy was reinforced by the challenges she encountered in adjusting to the pace and requirements of their new life in Atlanta, which she found to be difficult to adjust to. The Burns family was also subjected to a significant amount of stress as a result of the costs associated with the relocation. The expenditure of relocating, in addition to the costs associated with increasing their commercial operations, put a strain on their available resources. The financial burden and the uncertainty of success added to their worry, despite the fact that they had big plans for growth, including launching new branches of their beauty and wellness businesses. They were faced with a tremendous problem as they attempted to establish a footing in a new market while simultaneously attempting to meet the demands of their existing operations. Kiana and Ronald Burns presented the world with a front of perfection, but as time went on, that facade began to disintegrate, revealing the underlying problems that they were going through. Kiana began to show more vulnerability on social media in the months preceding up to the sad event, and she began to talk about the challenges she was facing. A more gloomy tone started to appear in her posts, which had previously been full of upbeat and encouraging accounts of her accomplishments. In a live feed that was particularly moving, Kiana admitted that she was experiencing feelings of being overwhelmed and anxious. In an open and honest manner, she discussed the challenges she faced in adjusting to life in Atlanta while also managing a business and taking care of her family. This frankness struck a chord with a significant number of her fans, who responded by providing support and encouragement. On the other hand, it brought to light the mounting imperfections in her life, which appeared to be ideal. In the midst of Kiana's emotional admissions, rumors began to circulate that she and Ronald were having marital problems. Followers and friends have observed a change in the way that they communicate with one another on social media, with fewer public shows of affection and fewer joint appearances that have occurred. There was a growing amount of speculation that the pair was going through serious difficulties in their marital connection. It was becoming increasingly obvious that their marriage was experiencing strain, despite the fact that they were making every effort to present a united front. The posts made by Kiana gave the impression that there were unresolved issues and emotional distance between them, which indicated that the stresses of their personal and professional lives were having an effect on their couple's relationship. Serious financial difficulties added to the problems they were having in their marriage. The relocation to Atlanta, which was supposed to serve as a launching pad for the expansion of their business, had instead thrown them into a state of economic distress. The costs that were associated with relocating and establishing new business activities were significantly higher than they had anticipated, which resulted in the accumulation of debts. It was difficult for Kiana and Ronald to maintain the viability of their businesses, and the strain that they were experiencing financially began to show itself in their personal life. There were reports that the couple was in danger of filing for bankruptcy, which painted a bleak image of their current financial situation. The emotional and mental health difficulties that they were facing were further exacerbated as a result of this development, which added an additional layer of stress to an already dangerous position. The events that transpired in the days preceding up to November 6, 2021, were characterized by a growing sense of despair and a string of alarming signs that, when viewed in retrospect, served as a precursor to the impending calamity. The behavior that Kiana displayed on social media got progressively erratic throughout the course of the days that preceded the tragic event that ultimately resulted in her death. It was the mysterious statements and upsetting updates that she posted on her social media account that caused her admirers to feel concerned. It was asserted by her close friends and members of her family that she appeared to be becoming more reclusive and isolated, and that she was having difficulties coping with the rising pressures that were coming from all directions. Kiana was unable to handle the weight of their financial problems, which, in addition to the strain that it was placing on her marriage and the difficulties she was experiencing with her mental health, was too much for her to bear. On the day that the tragedy took place, Kiana posted a live feed and published it on social media. The feed was both painful and poignant. During her address, she indicated how she felt confined and helpless, and it was clear that she was in a state of anguish. When she was going through this challenging moment, she addressed a message to her fans, asking for their support and acknowledgement. This live feed was a remarkable departure from her normally calm demeanor, and it indicated the considerable depth of the inner suffering that she was experiencing at the time. Although Kiana received an outpouring of love and concern from her online community, it was abundantly clear that she was in a serious state of despair. This was the case despite the fact that she received these feelings. It is unfortunate that the scenario ended up producing a conclusion that was really depressing. The residence of the Burns family, which was located in Atlanta, was the location of the call that was made to the police on November 6, 2021. It was determined that Kiana and Ronald's murders were the result of a murder-suicide act after the bodies of both of them were discovered upon their arrival. A frightening revelation was that Kiana had taken Ronald's life before taking her own, and it was a revelation that Kiana had taken Ronald's life before taking her own. Many people were left grappling with loss and questions that remained unanswered as a result of the horrific and terrible event that took place in their area. Not only did the horrific occurrence that took place with Kiana and Ronald Burns send shockwaves across their community, but it also spread beyond their immediate vicinity. In the aftermath of the terrible event, an investigation was carried out with the objective of illuminating the particulars and the factors that led to the occurrence occurring. After the bodies of Kiana and Ronald Burns were found, the authorities quickly initiated a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding their murders. The inquiry is still ongoing. Kiana was determined to be the one who took Ronald's life before turning the weapon on herself, according to the preliminary findings of the inquiry, which showed that Ronald's death was the consequence of a murder-suicide. This led the authorities to the conclusion that the horrific incident was an act of desperation done by the couple as a result of the stresses and problems they were experiencing. The fact that the police were unable to locate any traces of forced entrance or struggle led them to this conclusion. A wave of horror, sadness, and astonishment was generated across a variety of social media sites as the word of the catastrophe immediately circulated over the internet. People who followed Kiana and Ronald had a hard time reconciling the pair's public persona, which appeared to be one of happiness and wealth, with the tragic events that had taken place. This was extremely difficult for them to do. They expressed their sorrow and condolences to the couple who is going through this. Many others shared experiences about how Kiana's beauty advice or Ronald's motivational essays had positively impacted their lives, despite the fact that they had never had the opportunity to meet the Burns family in person. The tremendous connection that they felt with the Burns brothers and sisters was brought to light by these stories. Not only did the outpouring of sadness bring attention to the significance of the pair, but it also brought attention to the profound sense of loss that their online community is going through. In the course of the investigation, information regarding Ronald's history started to become more apparent. After further investigation, it was discovered that Ronald had a history of financial instability and questionable business activities, all of which had contributed to the couple's troubled financial situation. Furthermore, reports appeared regarding Ronald's controlling behavior and volcanic temper, which added a new degree of complexity to the narrative. Moreover, the scenario became more complicated as a result. They painted a picture of a guy who was under great pressure and who, despite his apparent calm and inspiring character, was fighting significant inner demons. Friends and friends recalled situations in which Ronald's actions and decisions had made their financial and personal troubles even more difficult. There are a number of underlying causes and theories that have been recognized as contributing elements, despite the fact that it is possible that the complete truth behind the tragedy will never be found. The family of Burns was under a significant amount of financial difficulty. A significant strain was placed on their financial resources as a result of their ambitious transfer to Atlanta and the accompanying expansion plans designed for their enterprises. The accumulation of debts, in conjunction with the constant need to preserve their public image of success, resulted in a scenario that was unsustainable. There was a growing possibility of the couple filing for bankruptcy, and their efforts to negotiate these financial issues finally proved to be insurmountable. Speculations of infidelity within the marriage added another layer of complexity to the story. There were rumors that Kiana and Ronald had trust issues and extramarital affairs, both of which hinted at the fact that their relationship had deep-seated troubles. These problems were probably made worse by the stress of financial difficulties, which led to a toxic dynamic that contributed to the emotional and mental instability of the marriage. It was reported by friends of the couple that the relationship, which had previously been characterized by love, had become increasingly strained, with regular arguments and periods of emotional detachment. Kiana and Ronald were both dealing with serious challenges related to their mental health complexities. It was only the tip of the iceberg when Kiana admitted on social media that she was experiencing feelings of being overwhelmed and anxious. After some time, it became clear that she was struggling with serious depression, which was made worse by the unrelenting pressures that she was experiencing in both her personal and professional life. The fact that Ronald exhibited controlling behavior and had anger difficulties revealed that he was struggling with his own mental health, which most likely made Kiana's distress much worse. A terrible culmination. Given these compounding tensions, the last breakdown was a catastrophic climax that led to an act that was both desperate and irreparable. Immediately following the tragic event, friends, fans, and members of the larger community have shared their thoughts, which have shed light on the impact that the pair had and the wider ramifications that their story has. On social media and in interviews, friends and fans of Kiana and Ronald have expressed their sincere thoughts and feelings about the couple. Many people were shocked to learn that a couple who appeared to be so wealthy and happy could be going through such a tremendous amount of anguish. They gave an account of how Kiana's generosity and Ronald's posts that motivated them had served as a source of inspiration for them, highlighting the profound connection that the Burns had established with their audience. The tremendous sense of loss that individuals who adored the pair felt was brought to light by their thoughts, which underscored the significant influence that the couple had. The analysis of Ronald's personality and conduct revealed a complicated man who, despite his public persona of strength and purpose, was fundamentally flawed and battling with huge pressures. This was indicated by the fact that Ronald was a challenging individual. In addition to his dominating character, he made a number of financial mistakes that contributed significantly to the couple's demise. The patterns of behavior that Ronald exhibited were symptomatic of someone who was battling extreme stress and possibly mental health conditions, which most likely contributed to the tragic outcome. This was identified by professionals in the fields of psychology and mental health. The narrative of the Burns serves as a jarring reminder of the significance of raising awareness about mental health and the perils of attempting to preserve an appearance of perfection. In particular, it highlights the importance of having open conversations about mental health, particularly among those who appear to have everything under control emotionally. The tragedy demonstrates how the interplay of multiple factors, including financial demands, marital issues, and mental health struggles, can result in disastrous repercussions. By cultivating a culture of support and understanding, we will be better able to address these challenges and prevent tragedies of a similar nature from occurring in the future. The heartbreaking situation involving Kiana and Ronald Burns serves as a powerful reminder of the hidden hardships that lie behind lives that appear to be ideal. While we are thinking about their narrative, it is essential that we raise awareness about mental health, establish support networks, and engage in compassionate conversation in order to assist others who are going through similar difficulties. In addition to highlighting the fact that true success and happiness are the result of addressing our inner challenges rather than simply projecting outside triumphs, their narrative serves as a call to action for better empathy and understanding. Thank you for watching. I recommend our other crime videos.